Okay, so tonight's video is about three things. An update on how the trucks are going and where they're at and what they've been doing and how we're dealing with them. Secondly, incompetence of a main dealer that will put me off buying Peterbilt's probably permanently. And thirdly, incompetence of bureaucracy and law enforcement. Total, absolute lunacy. Box ticking stupidity. There you go. Hope you like the video. Okay, it is Tuesday night, the 8th of September, and it's been an okay weekend. Trucks have run not too bad. Usual things when you've got a few trucks on the road where one of them inevitably blows a tyre or something happens, but that happened at the weekend, and a few other things have happened that made today just a crap day. Some days in your life you're in control, you've got life by the scruff of the neck, you're in control. I like the days where you've got a grip of things. Other times things just seem to be happening around about you and you try to desperately hold on to the tail of a freaking tiger that's running away from you. But I like to get it pinned down and get a grip of it. It didn't happen today, so I'll give you some examples of things that happened all the weekend. Bureaucratic, ignorant police officers, incompetent truck dealers. Let's just start with that, all right? First off, we have our trucks. What do we got? Paul unloaded this morning in Nashville, Tennessee, and he headed back to Vegas. All good. The yellow truck still humping back and forward like a good little yo-yo. Brett got unloaded in Tucson this morning. Took a little while. And it's funny how you can get a load out of somewhere like Phoenix that's 300 miles further away from here, and it'll maybe pay $2,000. Yet you can drive for 300 miles empty to Vegas and pick up on the road and pick up a load paying nearly $3,000 or $2,000 or $2,500. So we decided it was late getting unloaded, needed a shower, had a bad experience yesterday, and I just thought it was a good idea, so did he, to chill out for a day and get a shower, head towards Vegas, and I'll load him out of there tomorrow. Who else have we got? Clay, rocking and rolling, got unloaded in Cole Township, Pennsylvania this morning. Ran up to almost Rochester to pick up a load going down to Lubbock in Texas. So I think he'll be quite happy to run through the house and show all the family his nice new toy. Him and his wife are riding around the country having a good time and making some money. So best of luck to them. So here's what happens. Try to make plans. We're bringing our man from Texas out of the oil field, sent him home for the weekend, time with the family, and the idea was that I would go down, pick up the green truck, bring it back up here, the little green truck, and I did that. It's back up, it needs an oil cooler, and it's got a bit of blow by and burning some oil, so it's really only good for loading right now. Having said that though, it was a cheap $10,000 truck, and it sounds terrible to say, all it needs is an engine, but it does. It's got two brand new rear ends. I've got a set of alloys with nice, good matching tyres to go on it, and that's from the back of the truck forward. It's got new brakes, new drums, new S-cams. Then you get further forward, the transmission has been overhauled. It's nice and tight. It steers perfectly, there's no rumbles off it, no vibrations, no drifting, no pulling. So the steering linkages are good. And really all that's wrong with it is it's billing oil, but stuff to redo Detroit is pretty reasonable money. You can get ahead for less than £2,000. Kits are not a lot, so I think for another £10,000 I'd have a truck that if I'm doing some of it and paying Jeff to do the rest of it, maybe there's 17-18 grand, we'll have a truck on the road, paid off, that can go anywhere really. Once that engine's overhauled, it's not a big dolly bird like 379 Pete or a W900 Kenworth, but it'll run along just the same. Just as a little, put an indicator on, take a left, go to another subject here. I did an interview thing on Red Viking Truckers thing channel on YouTube, and there was a couple of guys on there that were saying that they get new trucks, and their customers love the fact they've got new trucks. All the trucks that I've got, none of them are new. Never ever does anybody ask me, how old are your trucks? It all comes down to when you call up for that load, how much? That's it. Certainly I've got a reputation with some brokers now that we do a good job, and so they just give us the loads and we can command a bit of price on them, and if they're desperate for something they'll call us, we'll charge them accordingly, but they'll know that we'll be able to pull them out of a hole. So that's the trucks that are paid off and can go out and run along the road alongside the guys that are paying 175 grand for theirs. They're just getting paid the same money. So if you can overhaul older trucks and keep them on the road, you're doing all right. I think that's the way to go, because I've always kind of that thought. The tour coach game in the UK is very much geared around people, the owners of the tour companies and holiday companies, dictating to the coach operators how old the vehicle should be, dictating the rate. We'll pay you £400 a day, but your coach can't be any more than 3 years old. I know a lot of people that do that, and I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know how they make it work. You write that down the back of a postage stamp and try to figure it out without any great calculations, but there's no money in that at all that I would want to be dealing with anyway. I've tried it with older vehicles, but to try and do that with a brand new coach, crazy. There is the issue that a newer coach or a newer truck, if times go quiet or the rates go down and you're struggling to pay that a lot of people happens. When you get to that spot, when you have got the truck paid off or it's a low payment, you own the truck. Until that happens, the truck owns you. The truck owns you. You have to make that truck payment whether it's going on the road or no. So don't think that when you go and finance a brand new truck that you own a truck. You don't. It's owning you. You need to work for it to make it. You need to work to pay the truck. Okay, so that's my rabbiting about that. So these older trucks, my plan was to bring the green one up to load trailers to help the trucks that are running over the road. If it takes you a day every time you come to town to get, if we unload in Salt Lake at 9 o'clock in the morning, by the time that truck runs up to Idaho, because that's where the money is, and grabs a load, maybe 2 pickups, it's a day wasted. So my thinking is an old $10,000 truck as opposed to a $50,000 4-year-old truck. If I can use that old truck to pick up the loads and then meet a truck with an empty trailer, guys unloaded maybe in Brigham City. If he's unloading Salt Lake, I could be loading the truck and meet him somewhere, maybe down at McCammon, where that's the kind of best way out to onto Highway 30 going east. But if I can get that loaded and turn the driver and make him a day ahead, and if I can do that with 6 trucks every week or 5 of them, it's just the equivalent of having a nice new truck that can run across the road. See my thoughts with that? I do, but my brain goes daft. So that's that. That's why I brought the green truck up. I wasn't doing a lot in the oil field. We've already got one down there and 1 man for it. So the other man, he's going to come out and run over the road. So I had it planned the green truck at the 579 with the pack car engine that's in at Peterbilt and the main hotshot dealer. I went in there on Thursday and they said the bottom end is done. They're putting the oil pan on it now. So if you're mechanically inclined or not, when they say the bottom end is done, that means the liners have been dropped into the block, 6 of them. The pistons have been dropped into the liners. They drop down in the bushings, or the shells or bushings, whatever you want to call them, on the top of the connecting rod. Yeah. Sit in the crankshaft, and the end caps go on it, bolted on, that's it. And then they put the oil pan on, bottom end done. Alright, so I was told that the bottom end's done, and all I have to do then is put the cylinder head on and blah 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 blah. Your rockers and your valve, you know, your jakes and all that nonsense and camshaft. So that was what I thought had to be done. I go in there this morning and the guy said to me, should be Tuesday. So I've told my guys, Wes and our new man, don't want to say his name, but as soon as he gives me clearance, I haven't asked him yet, I'll mention his name if he wants me to. Our new man from Dallas, looking forward to getting him over the road because I think he'll be really good at it. I think he'll be a superstar. But I was hoping to have him come up, and because the green one was going to be out the shop, I put the blue one with the oil leak in it. It's got an oil leak at the front casing, so when I bought it, I knew it had an oil leak. I got the front casing from the guy that I bought it from, all good to go. So the main dealer said this morning, yeah, we're just waiting on the liner coming, and they'll drop that in and then finish it off. I thought, how do you drop the liner in? And I said, how do you drop the liner in when the bottom end's been done and the oil pan's on? Oh, it's no. I said, well, the manager told me on Friday that the oil pan was on and the bottom end was complete. And you can't put a liner in when the pan's on. There's no way to connect it. So, where they went, come back, check with the foreman. Come back and say, oh, yeah, one of the liners had a dent in it, and so we've had to order another one. And I thought, a dent in it? It's not like it's a freaking meringue shell or something. It's highly tough steel where your piston goes up and down inside it. I don't know how you would dent it unless you dropped it and put a dent on top of it where the head goes on. I don't know. That's where the excuse was. I said, so when's that going to be done then? She says, well, we hope they'll have the new liner by Thursday. And then, if we get it Thursday, it'll be ready next Thursday. And I said, you're already a week late as it is, behind time. And now you're just saying, matter of fact, it'll be another 9 days from when I was supposed to collect it, which is already, so I'm 16 days late. And the main dealer doing this. I said, well, when were you going to let me know that? And they said, oh, we were dealing with the lease company that's got the truck. I said, it's me that's brought it here. It's me that is responsible for the truck. So I want to know when the truck's ready. I've got a man going to be coming up here this afternoon to get in that truck for the second time. And so they said, well, we'll let you know as soon as we know something. So just like that. I wonder whether somebody else needed a liner and piston and they used one of mine from the kit. Run through my head to say that the liner's dented. It's not an eggshell or a chocolate biscuit, you know, hard steel. So that hacked me off. And then yesterday I got hacked off even more. I'm putting this into the hands of lawyers because I think it's highly incompetent of a police officer. So this is the other scenario. Years ago, I worked for a man in London who subcontracted a bus job out to another company in the same area, going overseas. The driver got a puncture and stopped on the hard shoulder at night in the dark. And to cut a gruesome story short, when you're driving along at night time and you're driving along at all, you don't know, sometimes you get hypnotised a little bit behind a vehicle, or other people do, and this happens a lot. It happened with Jeff. He was out recovering a truck. and people follow the lights in front, and then sometimes they're too late and they realise that the vehicle is stopped and they run at the back of it. This happened with that bus. It happened with Jeff when he was at a recovery job on I-15. He getting thrown into a field, his pal get thrown into a field and he get pinned up against the bus. There's a bus that we're fixing, sorry. So, my policy is, there were fatalities in that accident with the bus. My policy is, always has been, no matter what it is, bus, coach, truck, car, personal vehicle, if you get a puncture on the motorway, don't put your flashers on and park in the hard shoulder. Ruin the wheel, doesn't matter. Get to the next exit, get off the freeway, just get off the road. Because see then, you're safe. You just want to be safe. Safety, right? So, that's my philosophy. So here's Brett, Sunday morning, running through Alamogordo, New Mexico, blows a tyre, calls me up and says, hey, I've blown a tyre, what'll I do? I said, Brett, get in the truck, drive off, there's a Love's in Alamogordo, I believe it's a Love's, get off, get to the truck stop, put a tyre on it. I don't want somebody fixing my tyre at the side of the road. I don't run super singles for that reason. I don't want to be stranded at the side of the road. Get off the freeway. So I said to him, get off. So he drives for a couple of miles, about to get off the freeway, and the police pull him over. Super cop. In my opinion, idiot cop. Pulls him over and says to him, you've blown a tyre. You can't be driving on here with a blown tyre. We don't want to be picking up your rubber that falls off your tyre. He's going slow, crawling along the hard shoulder with his flashers on, going slow. And I thought, no, you'd rather pick up dead bodies of a minivan or something that runs into the back of my truck when it's stranded at the side of the road. Or have a recovery guy be killed changing a tyre. So, the long story short on that is, he gave him a ticket, a citation for driving a vehicle, he did an inspection, a walk-around inspection on him, checked his paperwork. Two things here. First one, he got a citation for having a truck with a tyre that did not meet DOT standards. The tyre blew. The tyre exploded. Boom! So anybody that looks at that in Washington at the FMCSA looks at Tommy here and thinks, oh, he's been operating a tyre that's not up to DOT standards. No, there's no way to legislate for that. The tyre exploded. It was over 100 degrees going across the air yesterday, and the tyre, boom, for whatever. Probably run over a crap thing in the New Mexico roads. But the tyre blew, and he got a ticket for having a vehicle with a tyre that was not up to DOT standards. So that's that. And then he does a check around, comes to the paperwork. Okay, sir, let's see your logs. Brett says, no, we're running under an exemption. Now, right across, if I can find it, right across the top of the bills, it says, essential food replenishing, and it's going to a food bank in Arizona to help people who have got no food because they've lost their jobs because of the COVID. It's essential load. It says it right across the bill of lading. Essential food replenishing for a food bank. That's it. There it is, big capital letters. This clown gave him an out of service notice, put him off the road for 10 hours and said, he'd called his boss and said, well, I don't think it is essential because, it's not like you're going to a disaster like Hurricane Katrina, or one of these, hurricanes going through it, or there's been a flood, it's not urgent. And I thought, try telling the people that are freaking starving in Arizona that it's not urgent. And besides the point, we have got an exemption up until the 14th of September. So I called the DOT in New Mexico and said, hey, what's the ruling with this? They said, well, every DOT in each state is implementing the rules differently. And I thought, that's a bunch of crap. We're dealing with the FMCSA, which is a national body, is a national operating license, and we're abiding by their rules. And she said, I said, but we're staying within the rules. She said, yeah, but that's going to be taken away, that's going to be taken back because there's no emergency anymore, there's no shortage of trucks. I said, well, the rates are very high, and it's not me that decided it. It was the national government that decided that there was a shortage. No me. I am playing within their rules, and you can't. That's not right. She said, well, you never heard it from me, but go ahead and call up Santa Fe, and they'll take that ticket off you. And I thought, why have I got to go through all the palaver of incompetence at the roadside? 2 days before that, Clay got a level 3 inspection. Not a problem with the logs. I've had them when the situation when Wes had the gun in the truck. Not a problem with the logs. Nothing. Nobody checks them. If they pull you in to check, usually if you've got a reefer and they see the green light in the side of your trailer that your reefer is running, then they don't bother with you. Carry on, jog on. We don't care. We don't want to give you tickets. You're out running. You're working during the COVID, taking food to a food bank under the correct rules that the government has set out, and I've got a citation for it. So that's in the hands of a lawyer as of today, with the pictures of the tyre that was blown, with an article relating to the incident of my friend's bus that was involved in a wreck. It wasn't his, it was somebody he'd hired in. And a picture of the ticket and a picture of the bill of lading that says, there it is, essential. See, that's why I've had a crap weekend and a crap Monday and a not so good Tuesday. So these last few days, I've not been having a thing pinned down and everything under control. I've taken the blue truck off to get the oil replaced because I knew the green one was coming on. Green one didn't come on. So back to the drawing board. Plan B, C, D, E. But it just shows you a main dealer has let me down drastically, and the New Mexico police have been sitting there, probably hacked off that he's got to work on Labour Day Monday, and thought, here comes a truck, he's blew a tyre, I'm going to make it even worse for him. They wanted $200 for a call-out charge for them to travel freaking 4 miles. 4 miles, there was only 4 miles for the exit to get off to get the tyre fixed. So they come out and then negotiated with them to not pay the $200, and we've got that wiped down from 700 and something down to 500 and something for a tyre. They had to replace the mud flap and straighten out the hanger. So it's obvious that the tyre had exploded because the hanger was bent. But no, just some cop thought, I'm going to make my bones today. So this is a day and a couple of days that's not enjoyable having trucks. Some days I think I could have 50 of these and enjoy it, but not today. I'd rather just have one of them. And these guys that pull you over when they've got a gun at their side and think that they can do whatever they like is absolute crap. It's shocking. We're so totally defenceless. If we're in the right, if we say, no, you're wrong. There's the rules there. It's an FMCSA declaration about 3 weeks ago that said we're okay to run. Read it. Don't bother calling your boss to see what he thinks, because he's probably some sheriff, sitting back there waiting for the horse to come in off the range so that he can go reshoe it, some podunk place. But we get shut down for 10 hours. Brett had to run like an idiot during the night to make a delivery at the food bank so that we can get that done. Anyway, that's my complaints. That's what we deal with out here. It's not always sitting there, hold on to the steering wheel, the air conditioning on, your best tune the radio, 10 grand load going across the country. No, sometimes you're dealing with bureaucracy at the stupidest, highest level. So, one hacked off Scottish trucker here. Tomorrow's another day. Some days you just got to get to the next day. This is one of them. Thanks for watching.